we're gonna, the planet's gonna be dead. We're finished in 12. So why all this work? Why bother? Might as well just throw one big party for
That's a
the next 12
Republican
years.
attitude.
We're gonna really
All
reevaluate
right, I
whether or
said
not
when
Americans should have
everything
any more
starts
children.
flooding, they'll just make new
Really?
beachfront
Okay.
property.
We're gonna eliminate meat, rebuild every house. We're gonna eliminate airplanes and cows, and then we're going to what? Offer
All it's going to do is it's going to force somebody else to come out with a better plan.
cost it from the former head of the CBO, $93+ trillion, nearly $94 trillion in 10 years.
Somebody used to say something, a hamster in a world of, wait a minute, a guinea pig in the world of hamsters is a king.
Built and are now finally open. Hundreds of thousands of high-paying career jobs in the oil and gas industry, the lifeblood of every economy, and we're going to be a net.
Is it really, though? Because we've already proven that it's not. There are many other types of technologies, especially small thermonuclear reactors. We're talking small, like the size of a car. They're miniature, self-contained reactors, and even if they melt down or they have some kind of fault, the whole reactor is encased. It's sealed. That's why they call it a sealed reactor, and it creates power. You understand? There's no maintenance involved. The prototype was created, I think, 15 years ago, and of course, you never saw it in public. They never advertised it.
Teach them about American history. We don't teach them reading, writing, and math, the skills that they'll need in real-life situations. Man, how many college kids? I talk to college professors. They're like, we have to go back to scratch with these kids.
That's because they're not teaching them. It's a for-profit business, so a for-profit model, of course, obfuscates. That's what they do. That's what for-profit means. It means they got to constantly change the curriculum to keep people paying more money for class 04412 and class 04435. And then you take all these complex algorithms and bundle all these different classes as requirements, and then they graduate and they find out that it's all complete garbage. It's not useful.
And nobody is 100 Democrats, and many of them 2020 candidates that are supporting this. It is going to lead to an economic demise, the likes of which the world has never seen. And Kamala Harris.
It's probably going to be like 10 people who have all the money in the world are just going to pull out, right? Is that what he's really saying?
Yeah, it kind of is the issue. And oh no, they went even further. Now the White House.
Well, how did you let 10 people get all the money?
Private gun sales? That's not going to go over either. Then the abortion, then all the free, then all the promises, then the expenses. Then you look at what's happened under Trump. Well, record low unemployment for every demographic group in the country. Oh.
Okay, well, you take that with a grain of salt because, after 3 months, they're not counted in the unemployment anymore. They're just ghosts. They don't exist.
Fighting like a madman, tenaciously digging down deep to get the border wall built like he said he would. One of the politicians fights that hard to keep their promises.
You know what would be really cool? Instead of building a metal wall, which, I know the reason why they picked that, because they wanted to throw one back to the steel creation industry and the resources that go into that, because that's what they're betting on, What if they created a wall of cactuses? I mean, wouldn't that be cool? Like genetically engineered cactuses that grow up to like 10 to 12 feet tall. Can you imagine? I mean, I've actually seen like huge cactus patches before.
That's what would happen. This was put together by Douglas Holtz Eakin. You've heard of his name before.
Oh, and earlier he was talking about, how everyone knows someone that's died from the heroin epidemic. Well, I've never even seen what that stuff looks like, but all I know is there's heroin, which is basically garage process. No, I want to say garage. They don't even have garages. It's shack processed opium. Shack processed opium. Shanty processed opium. That's what it is. And the real version that you get when you go into a hospital and you have like a grievous wound or something and you can't stop screaming is they give you something called diamorphine. And nobody ever gets addicted to diamorphine. I mean, there are some people who do, who convince themselves that they need it every day. And they like that numb feeling. But the people who get diamorphine for their accidents don't come out junkies. But no one ever says anything about that. It doesn't make any sense, right? But then when you look at the real science of it, it's the impurities. The addiction is because the part of the brain that is receiving the pleasure and the input is dying. It literally dies. The cells are dying. And when that happens, you'll have a situation where you're going to keep going back to get that. And the sad part is that they're never going to feel it again. It's why they say you feel a high that you'll never feel. The first time is the highest you'll ever be, but they don't actually teach that. It's like no one teaches what's really going on. It's just a bunch of impure junk. And there's no quality control on it. And no one knows how much it is. Hey, here's a good joke. What's the difference between someone dying? Oh, wait. I had a really good joke on that. What is the difference? What is the difference between someone dying on, what is that damn, the synthetic opiate called? I forgot what it's called. Oh, yeah, no. I'm getting old. I have to Google it because I don't remember. Synthetic opiate. Oh, shit. Do I really have to look over a whole huge list? Oh, great. Fentanyl. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay. What is the difference between dying on fentanyl and not dying on fentanyl? Well, one is labeled for milligram dosage level, and the other is an unknown quantity. That's the difference. What is the difference between dying from fentanyl and not dying from fentanyl? Well, one is pure and one is labeled for the milligram dosage, and the other is just a random bag of unknown quantity. And it's the truth, because that's how people overdose on it, because they have no idea what's in it. They don't know the quantity. They don't know the quality. They don't even know where the hell it comes from. And then there's the whole part where that, you're buying something that's supporting an underground ring of criminal activity. And so how do you cut off that funding? Well, you already know. You legalize it. That's what you do. They already know that. But nobody ever says the elephant in the room. It's so obvious. But no one ever wants to do that. They want to throw more guns at it, more bombs, more barbed wire, because it helps other industries.
Plate height adjustment feet.
That's on a commercial now. Goodbye and good luck. And be sure and take your what's it called? Be sure and take your hawthorn. It's good for heart disease.